fellow hypnotherapists around the world. This is Jason O'Callaghan from the D4 Clinic in Dublin. Thanks to all you who've contacted me over the past couple of weeks and months and who've been following our posts and our videos and so on. So we've decided today to do a tutorial video for you. Mainly, as I've explained to most of you, is because I simply don't have the time to travel around the world to train you, and I know a lot of people around the world want to do what I do up here in Dublin, and if I can do it in the small clinic here in Dublin with the turnover that we've been talking about online, there's no reason why you can't do that in Melbourne, in Sydney, in Boston, in England, wherever it is that you are in the world. The condition on this is you really have to be a trained hypnotherapist. I'm not in the business of training people yet. I did it a few years ago, but I simply don't have time. So this is really about your marketing, about your online, about your training of how to develop your business into a money-making machine. As I've explained in the past, the D4 Clinic in Dublin has been known for months to turn over maybe anything between 20 and 30,000 with an expense of around $5,000 a month. So our talks that we did last year at the National Guild of Hypnotherapists was the $5,000 a week hypnotist. That became one of the biggest seminars at the convention. And I did a small tutorial video on this, and I've been asked for the last year to see if I do some more. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this all in one go. It's going to be one long video for you guys to follow. So forgive me if I need a drink of water in between, but it's like if you were coming to Dublin to train with me here, I'm going to try and do it this way to save you guys a lot of travel, a lot of money, and hopefully, as I said, we're a community, and this is not to be in rival with each other, because clients in Ireland here aren't going to travel to Boston, and no matter how good you are over there or in Australia or so on. So we all have our own domains. So the idea is that you can replicate this model. Also, if you're interested in the D4 Clinic franchise, we've just opened some in Ireland. We're looking to brand out around the world with this as well. That will involve paying a fee to the D4 Clinic to use our brand around the world, and on top of that we pay 20% of any work you get through us back to the D4 Clinic. But you can contact me privately about that. So what I'm going to talk to you basically first is an introduction to how I got started. I was a journalist for 10 years and had a bit of a trouble with my journalism career, as happens with people, and I retrained as a psychologist. I hold a degree in psychology and a master's degree in applied psychology. I'm also trained in cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm also trained in mindfulness. I'm also trained in counselling. So what we have is, I'm going to give you a brief introduction about the D4 Clinic and how I got started. I trained in Ireland with a National Guild of Hypnotherapist instructor, Niamh Flynn. After my training, I just finished my master's and I started working my front room. The way I got started and started generating business was through Groupon. Now, I know a lot of hypnotists around the world will give out saying that you get no money and it works out really cheap and it's not worth your time. I think if you're starting out with no business, with no media, with no clients, I think it's a good way. Start out of your front room or rent an office a day a week. I got a couple of grand out of it. Yeah, I was doing the gastric band, 3 sessions. I think they were selling it for €150. I was getting €75, so around €20 a client per session. But what's interesting is, I'm going to show you this article. This young man came into me. This is one of our press articles. His name's Keith Devlin. He lost 6 stone, so work that out in pounds for yourself, back in 2012. I didn't really utilize him until 2015, but I'm going to come back to that in a second. So he was one of my clients. He came back to me a few months later and he said, Jason, I've lost 6 stone. I get before and after pictures, and then the clinic starts to take off. I moved to a smaller office. Again, it's about keeping your overheads really down as you start off. As I said, I started off in my front room. I started off doing Groupon. Then I started taking small square ads in the local newspapers and free sheets in the daily papers at like €100 an ad. That started to generate. And I have to say, most of my business was generated through the gastric band, through weight loss, because I had the success with this client. And then what I did is I moved to a slightly bigger office out of my house. Then I moved to a bigger office, and now we're in this big premises here, which is our waiting room. We have offices inside, and you'll see on the video at the start there our introduction, our way into the clinic here. We're located in Dublin, around 5 minutes, 10 minutes drive from the city centre, and we have clients coming from all over the place to see us. So the clinic has been very, very successful, but it's in the past, since I suppose we started in 2012, 2013, 14 we're going okay. 2015 we saw a turnaround. We moved to this premises, but we also started to work on our online presence. But the mistake a lot of you make, and I've learned this myself, is that you're listening to people who are maybe spending all their time training people, not actually doing hypnotherapy on a day-to-day basis. So what we did here is we hired an SEO company, which I'm going to talk about again in a moment. So the next subject that I want to talk about is about basically, apart from the introduction to the clinic and seeing how it works, what I want to do is I want to talk about the structure of the clinic, how we did it in the past and how we're doing it right now. So as I said, when I started off, the same as most of you, I would have done, this many sessions for this client, and they would have come back and they would have said, oh, this is working, this isn't working. We charged them per session. And I realized around 2 or 3 years ago, this wasn't working as well as it should. So what I decided to do is I decided to change the whole business model in 2015. First thing I did, and this is the first thing I'm going to recommend you do. First off, have your website set up. Hire someone, a professional to do it. Don't hire a friend. Don't hire someone who thinks you know. Don't try and do it yourself, unless you're a Google AdWords and SEO expert. Most of you have some knowledge of it, but I'm going to assume that a lot of you don't have a clue what I'm talking about when it comes to SEO and AdWords. So what I want you to do while you're listening to this video, while you're watching this, is get your phone out, type in hypnotherapy, see what comes up first. On your phone, on your Google search, the first thing you will see is you will see ads for hypnotherapists. Now, the number one key with this is to get your ad at the top. If you hire an SEO company who manage your AdWords and your SEO, so SEO purely means search engine optimization. There's 3 ways you're going to see that page on your Google on your phone. Is you're going to see ads at the top, then you're going to see maps, then you're going to see what's called organic, which is the listings, the normal listings. Here's the interesting fact: 60% of all searches, whether it's be for plumbers or carpenters or hypnotherapists, go to the number 1 found search on Google. So 60% of the people looking for hypnotherapy are looking at number 1 on Google. So if you're at the end of page 4, no one is ever going to find you. So that's your goal. From this moment on, your goal, wherever region you're in, hypnotherapy Boston, hypnotherapy Sydney, hypnotherapy Basingstoke, it doesn't matter. Your goal is to get on the top of Google. You can do this in 2 ways. You will pay an SEO company who will manage your account and bring you up to the top of Google over time. I would look at any type of SEO company that you can find out there, but research them in the sense that we use a company in Ireland called the net.ie, and the reason is a friend of mine has a wedding band. If you look, they've got 5 clients who are wedding bands, and all 5 of them are number 1 to 5 on Google. So they weren't handling any hypnotherapists. I got on board with them. In 2015, when I did that, our business literally changed overnight. They got my Google AdWords, which I was paying €2.50 for, down to maybe €1. So I was getting 10 clients for €10 rather than getting 10 clients for €25. So they did that really quickly. Then they moved my SEO, changed things around, tagged things, put videos up, did whatever they do. I don't understand it, but they did it. And within a couple of weeks, I was the top of Google. Which means my business, every time someone goes on their phone, types in hypnotherapy Dublin, I come up. First off, I come up on an ad for Google, then I come up on a map for Google, and then I come up on the top of organic search. And that's really what the key is. The second thing I've done is I've hired a company called Marketing for Everyone. They work for me. They're a freelance company. You'll find loads wherever you are. And they manage my Facebook ads. So at the moment, my 3 main streams of advertising, apart from things like repeat business and people who've heard about me, is Facebook, where we have a huge budget on, Google and AdWords, and then thirdly, we've now started to advertise on mainstream radio because we've got that big that we can do that. So we spend a good lot of money on it, but it makes the return. As I said, in any of the videos you see me talking about when it comes to turnover, we talk about 20 to 30,000 euro or dollars per month turnover with expenses of 5,000. So you're making in the region of $5,000 a week is what our goal is wherever you are at the moment. So as we move on from that, next thing I want to explain is how the clinic works in here. And what I want to do is I want to be able to explain to you that you need to see how your clinic can develop. And what I want to do is basically have a look at how I can help you, because what I want to do is explain how you answer the phone, how you run your business. So first thing I do is explain to you that the mistake I've made over these years is I've been relying on my own mobile phone. And that may work for you and that may work great, but I have to say something. More recently, in the past few months, due to the fact I'm getting around 200 phone calls a month for the clinic, what I've done is I've hired an answering service. Now you might call them an e-receptionist, so on, so on, so on. But I've had to say that if you are someone who's working in another job, someone who's got kids, someone who's unable to take your call because you're in the clinic, I found that one of the best business moves I've made is actually hiring an e-receptionist. And what she does is, and you can have some of these people for €20 a month, €50 a month, €1,000 a month, depending on the calls you have. They will answer your phone with the name of your clinic. I give my e-secretary my diary, and I'll say I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these hours, or whatever hours I'm working. She will put them in a PDF and she will keep that on her desk, and anytime anyone rings, she will take the bookings from me. So she takes the name of the client, she takes the phone number, she says what they're for, whether it's their first visit, their second visit, their third visit, and what she does is she actually handles all my bookings. She'll also send them a text the day before. And what we do, and let me go into the details, sort of 90% of what I do here is weight loss and smoking. I do the other things that we all do, insomnia, anxiety, fears, phobias. But my money is charged. I charge €300 for the weight loss and smoking each. I charge 99 for the other services. So I try and really only push the weight loss and smoking. Of course, I will do the other stuff. I'm not going to turn it away, but primarily the main things I'm doing is that. But what she'll also do is for the weight loss and smoking clients, we have tutorial videos. Every time you contact me, I can show them to you. And they're sent out to the client the day before they come into the appointment. They're so sent a reminder and a video. The video is me like I'm talking to you. It's explaining how the session will work, how we're going to do it, and how the whole thing is going to work, how the pricing structure works, and so on. So that means that any client, it saves me best part of maybe 5 to 15 minutes doing an introduction about what the program is when they come into the clinic. What's that meant over the years, don't mind me, I take a drink of water. What's that meant is that we've gone from taking clients from an hour a session right the way down to 40 minutes. Because we don't have to do the chat with them, we don't have to go through the questions with them. We've already sent them the video, which answers all the questions in advance. We've also sent them a reminder to remind them of their appointment. So what that does as well is that reduces no-shows to 2 or 3%. You know what I mean? It really goes right the way down. I don't charge in advance. I used to do that, but dealing with credit cards and data protection is a lot more complicated. Also, when it comes to the actual clinic and people coming into the clinic, I would advise you to get a credit card machine. Also set up your website with Stripe or PayPal so that people can buy sessions. Even for the smoking or weight loss programs, they can buy in advance or pay in advance from home. And the other thing I'd recommend you do is really invest in the sort of e-commerce side of your site, if you want to call it that, you know. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing. What's on our list to talk about next? Okay, so this is really the most important part about this video. This is the part that you all want to know about. It's about the pricing structure of the clinic and how I operate. So, as I said, for years, what I've done was I did the $99 or €99 or €50 or €70, whatever it was, per session. And people would sign up for 3 sessions for €150 or whatever they would do. And a couple of years ago, I decided that I was tired of people coming in, especially weight loss, coming in a week later saying, this isn't working for me, this isn't working for me, this isn't working. We all get it, there's no point in saying we don't. And that was killing me. So I decided, well, what would happen if I completely changed everything on their head? And I took the risk for these people out of having to buy products, also having to keep paying all the time. So what I ended up with this system, which we call the Chinese buffet method. The Chinese buffet method that we use is very, very simple. It means that if you come into my clinic for weight loss and for smoking, now remember, this is listed on our website. It's listed in the video they get before, so they know this well. The way I operate is I charge €300 in our money, whatever that is in your dollars or your pounds, but it's around €300. So if somebody comes in for weight loss, they pay €300 at the first session, there and then. They're given the information we give them. We give them a lot of this bump here. It's a whole template of information. We give them a blue plate, and this is my weight loss method. Any of you want the information of what goes in here, but that's for the client. They come in here. So what we do is we give them all this. They watch the video, but the condition is this, and we do a standard gastric band hypnotherapy weight loss session with them, an induction, a Dave Elman induction, and then move on to suggestion and the usual stuff that we all do. I'm not going to teach you how to hypnotize people, that's your job. But what I find is that I record it, and this is a really interesting point because a lot of hypnotherapists disagree with this. I will record every session they do on their phone. Most phones, Samsung's iPhones, which nearly everybody has, will have a voice memo. So I will record their hypnosis session on them. I will give them a checklist of things to do each day. Those things to do each day will include listening to the hypnosis every single day. So they will be not listening to one session of hypnosis with me, they'll be doing 30 sessions of hypnosis a month. I limit my sessions to 15 to 25 minutes, roughly, sometimes 30 minutes, but 15 to 30 minutes max. Every time they come back, we'll do a new session. Here's what the business side of this is. So let's imagine we have a bell-shaped curve and we have 100 clients coming in for weight loss. The first 33% of them will come in, they will pay the €300 and you'll never see them again. Because the condition of doing this program is they have to lose 5 pounds in between sessions. If they do not lose the 5 pounds in between sessions, they cannot come back for the next session. So if they don't come back, if they haven't filled in their information here, which is food charts, checklists, everything that I've given them, they can't come back for the next session. So it rules out those people come back saying this isn't working, and you will get the odd person, but the majority of people know they can only come back when they've lost 5 pounds. Usually we'll get people back every 3 to 6 weeks. We've had people who've done one session and lost 5 stone, 6 stone. But it doesn't matter. All that matters to you as a therapist is that you've given the information, they've entered a contract, the agreement is they pay once, you will give them unlimited sessions, but the condition is they need to lose at least 5 pounds or so in between sessions. Equally, explain to them there's no point in coming back a week later after losing 5 pounds. We want it to be every 3 to 6 weeks for the business model to work, and we also want people to be coming back in here happy and enthusiastic. The second bunch of people will come in, do the program, be happy enough, lose maybe 14, 28, 36 pounds. They'll do 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 sessions over a couple of months, and they're quite happy with that. Then you've got your outliers. You get your people like my friend here who I showed you, who lost 6 stone after 3 sessions. Now here's the trick which I want you to do with them. So remember, first bunch of people, they'll pay you €300 for 40 minutes. You'll never see them again because they won't have done anything, and there's nothing we can do about that. Second bunch of people, you might have to do 2 or 3 sessions with. But remember, your follow-up sessions are only going to be 15, 20 minutes. Just to do a new recording. How are they getting on? Are they having problems with exercise or chocolate or wine or whatever it is? And you do a session on that and you send them on their way. And again, they keep coming back when they keep losing the weight. Third bunch of people are your money people. These are the people that will spend €300 with you, and they might lose 60 pounds, 5 stone, whatever it is, 6 stone. We want to lose in excess of 3 stone, or for our American friends, around 50 pounds. Now, once they've done that and they come in and say, oh, I'm so excited, I've lost now 3 stone. First thing you say to them is, and you do this beforehand, obviously, is you say, if you lose 3 stone, we will give you all your money back. Now, you did hear me right there, I said that. You will give them all their money back. But the condition on giving their money back, their €300, is they need to give you before pictures and after pictures of them. So if you give us before and after pictures for us to share in our social media, we will give you all your money back. Now that is your golden ticket. Because every person, and as I said, this is where I wanted to explain with this article, but I kept this to show you guys. So in this is February 2016, this article went up. But I think the original article went up a couple of weeks before that, in October of 15. That week alone, the turnover in the clinic went from tapping along nicely, maybe £1,000 a week, to up to £8,000 in the first week alone. So the testimonial from someone who's lost weight with you is really worth more than anything. So you don't publicize your clinic, you publicize your clients. That can be also with our smokers. We do the same deal with smokers. They come in, they pay €300. It's unlimited sessions. They can have as many sessions as you want. We record the first one. We don't let them leave here until they agree they don't want to smoke. If any of you have trained with Justin Trance, he does a great thing that he'll actually bring smokers outside after they've done the session, and he'll actually make them smoke. But he'll make them smoke his way, which means you get them to put the cigarette in their mouth, hold the smoke in, and literally make them sick, so that they know they can't just leave and go and have a cigarette, because that's tends to what they do. So also, we'll show a clip of this later on. We have dustbins in my clinic outside the door of my office, full to the brim with cigarettes, which is a great incentive for people who are sitting in the waiting room. But again, with the weight loss and smoking, the key is you charge €300. It's unlimited sessions. The weight loss, you've got to lose 5 pounds in between, and the smokers, the trick for them is that it's unlimited. So most smokers will leave, don't want to smoke. That's great, that's wonderful, we're really happy with that. However, if the smokers come back, so that what happens is they stiffed up, and it happens to around 20% of people, great. You will have an automatic session. So on my phone, I have longer versions that I've recorded, maybe hour-long sessions, hardcore, you're dying, say goodbye to your kids type stuff. that I keep on my phone. So if someone rings me and texts me, says, I'm after slipping up, I will actually be able to send them an audio recording of a session straight to their phone like that to get them back off, right? Then that doesn't work, you bring them back into the clinic, do another session, keep them off it. If someone comes back, and people say, what happens if it doesn't work? What happens if people need to come back in a couple of times? Look, if someone's coming back in 5 or 6 times, just refund them. It just gets easier. It's easier than getting a bad review. It's easier than the hassle and the headaches you're going to have to deal with this person. And you're going to be turning around so many people that you don't really, a 300 quid refund isn't really going to make a difference to you, but it will make a lot of difference to your business model if you get them on radio or online ranting and raving about how they got ripped off. And you don't want that. Also, what I'll do for smokers is we'll offer them a €50 refund if they do a testimonial video on their phone. So again, using the client as your advertising. So they'll get a video on their phone saying, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I quit smoking in the D4 clinic. I feel great. I'm smoke free now. A month, I always go with a month minimum, month, 6 weeks, or a year, 2 years, whenever they come back to you, and you give them €50 back, or you give them a free session for weight loss or something like that, or help a friend of theirs out with a discount. Talking about discounts as well, just so I remember, for our weight loss program, if you want to make even more money, and people will sometimes ring like a couple or 2 friends or whatever it is, I'd say to them, well, if you want to have your appointment at the same time, the same 40-minute slot, it's still €300. Because there's 2 of you coming in at the same slot, I'll give you a discount, so I'll do it 2 of you for €500. So you're giving them €50 each off their slot. You're still doing the same program, they still watch the same video, you're still doing the same session, but you're doubling your money. So it's a great little incentive for people to do it together. Of course, our goal is to save you as much time as we can, to make as much money as you can. So that's the way the Chinese method works. We advertise our videos, our tutorials, everything based on clients. I don't advertise myself. I don't have videos like this promoting the clinic. These are only on the website when people come to it, but for Facebook, Google, everything that we use, it's always videos of the client. The video recently we did on TV with a guy who lost 4 stone, so that's 60 pounds in 4 months. Went on TV, I was with him. We used that clip, we promote it constantly on Facebook, we promote it constantly on the website through Google AdWords, constantly everywhere we can. People see that. We also promote that with our online program. So the Chinese buffet method, let's park that for a second. As I said, you understand that that's €300 what I do, unlimited sessions for weight loss, unlimited sessions for smoking. When you're asking, you're sitting there, wherever you are in the world, you're saying, well, why do you call it the Chinese buffet method? It doesn't make any sense. Because the method came from a friend of mine who runs a Chinese buffet. And he said that, these are the places where you can pay $20 and you can have as much food as you want. And I said, how do they make money? Because they've worked out that the majority of people will have 2 plates of food. A good portion of people might have a little bit more, but then there's also a good lot of people who have a little bit less. So some people will have 1 plate of food, some people have 3 plates of food. But the average is 2, and that's pretty much what you're doing with your clinic. You're charging €300 for unlimited sessions, but most people won't need unlimited sessions. Some people might need 1, especially for smoking. Some people might need 2 or 3 for weight loss. Some people might need 5 or 6. But again, those are the people who are losing huge amounts of weight, so you're making much more money. Now, let's move on to the next subject here, which of course is our testimonials, blah, 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 blah. Now, a lot of you have been also on to me asking about our online program. So this has got to do again to using the right method of marketing. So at the moment, we'll be spending up to €200 a day on our online advertising. And some of you will think that's ridiculously crazy. But each day that we use our online program for weight loss, what we have is we could be turning over €200 to €400 a day online itself. So we're doubling our money every day. So it's worth it. I spend €50 a day on my stage shows because I do a bit of corporate work. €50 a day on Google AdWords, promoting the clinic, the online program, and then €100 a day on Facebook, which I find is really the only medium for our market. You could look at Snapchat, you could look at Instagram, you could do all this type of stuff, but if you're going to be doing weight loss and smoking, which I think is the sort of cash cow of this business, what you've got to look like and look at is that our target market is going to be 30-year-olds plus maybe 30 to 60-year-old women, mostly for weight loss, men a lot of the time for smoking. But what you're looking at is that the business model, they're using Facebook, and my father's on Facebook, you know what I mean? He doesn't know about Snapchat or Instagram and so on. So our market, even though some of you might be into it and might find it great, I know a lot of the online hypnotists are raving about it, I don't understand it very well, and I don't find it works for me. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, they just don't work for this business model or for my clients. Facebook does. sometimes radio does, and Google does. Google's for people who are looking for hypnotherapy. That's why you need to be at the top. Facebook, you're suggesting hypnotherapy to them. So let's talk about my online program, which a lot of you have been asking about. So I'm going to explain how this works. So my website that I have set up recently, and this is because I have a good SEO company, is a company called The Net, as I said. Now we've set up a new website called howtoloseweight.ie, because I use the Irish domain. And what we found was when my SEO, my computer guy, researched it, he found there was 2,500 people a month looking for this search on Google, how to lose weight. So every time now you type in how to lose weight, our website will come up, but also our ad will come up, which we're spending money on. And that's fair enough. We got to spend money to do this. What we have is we have 6 audio sessions. Anyone wants the video, I can share it with you. We give them a tutorial video, 6 audio sessions, and a printable PDF of the information that I showed you there. So what happens is we're now selling these hand over fist. We started with a deal. Again, we talked about Groupon and Living Social and these promo companies around the world. Here's what the interesting point is that I can only do this in Ireland and England. I can't do it in America because I'm not an American company. So any of you who are in America who have deals with Groupon or these companies in America, get in touch. I can sell you the program, or I can show you how to do it. You can do it in America. Each week I could be making between €300 and €500. Put that into dollars, it's more actually, it works out more. €200 is $250, so work out the money on that. So what we're looking at is these are all selling hand over fist. We have a website set up that basically all people do is they get an email from us. It's got a URL they can click on. It's got a password they cut and paste in. They get 6 audio sessions, a tutorial video, and a printable PDF. The new website we've set up is howtoloseweight.ie, and we're basically putting that everywhere. €100 a day we're putting into Facebook for that. It's covering its costs every day, €50 a day into Google, and what we're finding is that we're selling, as I said, €200 to €400. We're only up a couple of weeks. And we're not even linked on Google yet, so we're already, just through our ads, doubling our money every day. There's no work to be done at all. The goal with this, as I've talked to many of you about, is that we get this up to roughly 10 sales a day, which is €500. Roughly 3,500 of a turnover per week with €1,000 expenses brings us to 2,500 per week, which means that we'll have a mass turnover per month of 10 grand passive income per month, which most clinics aren't even making. So that's 10 grand per month for doing absolutely nothing. So that's what's really nice about that. So talk to your net company, your website company. All you do is you record 6 audio sessions, or as many as you want, on whatever. This could be on anything. I'm just doing it on weight loss. We do have other programs on smoking, on insomnia, etc., etc. But the weight loss is selling them 20 to 1. So weight loss is really what we're concentrating on. You can set up a website if you want it the way I've done it. You can set up, you do record the audio on your phone if you want, or go to a studio and put them onto Dropbox and get a web person to set it up for you on a page. And all you do is just send the URL and the password to people and they can do it. So it's really easy to do, and you just keep selling it again and again and again. Another thing you can do is you could sell that as part of you could bring people in, charge them £300 for your session, and give them the online program for their follow-up session, so you haven't even got to see them again. That's what I'm probably going to do over the next while, is bring people in, see them once, and then send them 5 extra sessions that they can do over the following months at home by themselves. So it's really, really interesting, and that's really something I think you should look at doing over the next while. So what's next on our study list is, all right, so as I said, technology is really going to be the key for you. You need to have Google organized, you need to have testimonials, you need to have Facebook, you need to have credit card in your office if you want to make money, you need to look at Stripe, you need to look at PayPal, you need to look at all these things, you know what I mean? But you got to get yourself visible. People ask me about press. That was another thing a lot of people ask me about, because as a former journalist, I get a lot of free press. You need to find out clients who will do this for you. Weight loss is the best. Someone who's lost. You only need one client. That's the really important thing for you guys. You only need one client who's lost a good bit of weight, who you get a before and after picture. Then what you do is this, either yourself or if you've got someone who will help you out, is you go through every media in your area. So let's think about the radio stations, the TV stations, the online broadcasters, websites, free sheets, whatever it is. Every media you can imagine. You get their email address and you put them in a list and you email that list to yourself. So basically what you do is you can write up a press release saying, you know, Brisbane man loses 10 stone after hypnosis, or Boston man loses 5 stone after hypnosis, whatever it is, right? Man who ate 2 bars of chocolate every hour, you know, 50 bars a week or whatever it is, loses this weight with hypnosis. You show before and after picture, newspapers will eat it up around the world. What you do is you do it for your area where your clinic is. And what you do then is you BCC on your email, you blind copy these people, you send the email to yourself, BCC the press release with an image. If you understand how that works, is you put in your email address and then you put in BCC of all the media that you want to send us so they can't see it. You write up a press release. You can get a PR company to do it for you for €50, £50 if you want it, or you can just do it yourself. Or ask me, I'll help you with it. And what you do is you then send this press story to every radio station, every TV newspaper, everything that you can imagine. And I guarantee you, once people start to see it, but then you keep the press that you get from it. The way I do that is I have my Google Mail set up, that I have notices, alerts set up to give information on anything to do with hypnosis, hypnotherapy, Jason O'Callaghan, D4 Clinic. So if we're ever mentioned online anywhere at all, you can set up your Google account to send you an alert. So every day I'll get articles from around the world from other hypnotists who got into the press, and then I'll share them on my page as well. But any articles about ourselves, we keep them, we share them, and boost them on our page on Facebook, which means you just get more people to see them by paying. And then we also make sure they're on our website. So when people go onto our website and go through the D4 Clinic website to see all these things I'm talking about, you'll see the press, you'll see the online programs, you'll see the contact forms, you'll see the interviews that I've done. It's a whole building up credibility, testimonials after testimonials, refunding people if they share their pictures, paying people €50 if they share their stories about quitting smoking. It's about getting them to be your salespeople, and that's really how I've found this works. So in conclusion, I hope that sort of has explained everything. I've gone through how the clinic works. As I said, we'll show a cutaway of all the cigarettes that we keep in the clinic at the end of the video. You've seen the way we operate here. The way I operate on a day-to-day basis, I start exactly at 9:30 and there's someone waiting in this waiting room when I get in, so I don't hang around. The way the office is designed is that the office door is actually locked, but the waiting room door is always open. So in the morning, if I'm passing by my way to drop my kids to school, I open the downstairs lock. So the minute I drop my kids to school, I come in here at 9:30, there's someone waiting here. Every 40 minutes till 1 o'clock, we have a different client coming in. They've already watched the video, 10 minutes chit chat, best part of 20, 30 minutes hypnosis, move on to the next client, next client, next client, next client. Roughly I'll work, I'd say around 20 hours a week on average. And as you know, the turnover we're making is substantial. You can also talk to me if you want to get involved in stage hypnosis. I trained with Justin Trance, but some of you might want to do some training, have some questions. I'm always available on Facebook and Messenger. Just add me, Jason O'Callaghan, or add the D4 Clinic and I'll be able to talk to you. I hope it's given you some information. As I said, I'm so sorry I can't get around the world to train so many of you. I know so many of you are having trouble, struggling with business and trying to make an income and seeing the success. But as I said, this wasn't overnight for me. It's taken a couple of years to get to this level. Now that we're at this level, we're just going to try and reinvest to build it bigger, get more international. So hopefully this video will help you as a starting point. And remember, if you purchase this video, just contact me with any additional questions, things I've forgotten about, because I wanted to make sure that we did this right for you and we give you everything that you need. So advertising, testimonials, setups, press, online, I've gone through it all. I hope it works for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I've given you as much of the information that I've learned in the past 6 or 7 years within this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. Get in touch. Let me know how you find it and any other questions. And good luck with your business. Bye-bye.